Um, I might do another recording too. So I wanted to come on here real quick because I'm kicked off Facebook, so I can't say that on here. But I guess I could say what I say here. That way I can share it. But as far as this whole excessive force thing, um, when we not now, let me do a disclaimer. Yes, there is excessive force. I do believe that there is somewhat covert, overt issue when it comes to police officers and how they handle people, interactions with people that do not look like them, do not represent them and their culture. Anglo, okay? So, yes, I do believe that there is they're more aggressive. They tend to uh, draw from propaganda and their home environment and what they were raised to believe about, people who don't look like them. And they bring that into their work environment and then treat to these things that they were brought up on, these stereotypes and whatnot that they were brought up on. So, and then they go out and, on top of, a lot of them have, issues, alcohol addiction, narcissist. So you have all that compounded, some PTSD. So yeah, you have all that. So I said all that to say yes, there is an issue. I'm not trying to say that there's not an issue out there, but when you tag when you come out and you want to say, oh, it was excessive force about every little incident, that is maybe a little extra. It takes the weight or the value of and attention away from when there's really excessive force, like, oh, like, I mean, we have plenty of examples. They'll have a butter knife in their hand, and and they're like 30 feet away, and they still, shoot 30 bullets into them, or, where it's just, come on now, excessive sentencing, where it's like, oh, this person stole a candy bar and they got 30 years in prison. Yes, but, you know, don't be the one, who shot a bunch of people or shot at somebody, and then, you can finally you finally get caught, and they, might break your arm or some shit, which is excessive. But it's kind of karma. Your mama can't be sitting up here trying to be like, oh, but you did excessive force. It was like, ma'am, he just shot at a bunch of people in a crowd because he was chasing some other dude that he had beef with, and he didn't aim correctly. He just didn't think about the people that were standing there, the bystanders. He just shot in the crowd, didn't even care. So, but like I said, breaking his arm it was wrong. But I mean, it's kind of a karma thing. Like, and why I'm bringing this up is because there is a video I just saw about some young, like, freshman getting body slammed by either a coach or a peace officer that was in the school because the vending machine was open, and all the kids started running to the vending machine to steal the candy. And he was the one that got caught. Even though he dropped the candy, they still body slammed him on the ground. Okay, the body slam was excessive, especially after the fact that he already put it down, dropped it anyway because he's seen y'all coming. But wait a minute, this lady has lawyered up, his mama has lawyered up, and, oh, this whole excessive force. And it's like, yo, it just takes from the real shit when it's really excessive. People are losing their lives. Your child was stealing. Like, now, had he was stealing and they did, like, they broke his arm, or, something excessive, shot him, yeah, beat him up real bad for the same thing, for doing the same thing, yeah, that's excessive. But they bought you from the video, they body slammed him. They didn't, like, choke him out, or he wasn't handcuffed getting choked out. None of that stuff. They body slammed him. I think the coach body slammed him, and they're feeling like that's excessive. First of all, being a mother of a black boy, First of all, just being an old school mother, period. Like, I just had this one chick like, why? Well, you didn't comment about the fact that, they was using excessive force. Because you know what? We two different generations. Y'all, the younger millennial generation, your late 20s and early 30s, where no matter what, my baby, no matter what your child do, you there to defend them even when they're wrong. And that's not right. Okay, I grew up with, don't fucking embarrass me in public. And the only thing that I can think of in the situation, if my son was a freshman and he went to run his ass over to a vending machine knowing damn well I hate a thief, and that's not what I teach him. I hate a thief. I hate a thief. And I teach mine to not be followers. Don't do what someone's. Matter of fact, I just had this conversation last night. Don't do what everybody else do. You don't do what so and so do, your friend so and so do, or the other kid in the class do. You know that shit is wrong. You don't do it with them too. Because 9 times out of 10, the teacher's not going to see them. They're going to see you and you're going to get in trouble. Don't get into that. Oh, don't let them, I dare you and I bet you won't, stuff. Because they just trying to get your ass in trouble to see if you dumb enough to do it. So they see your dumb ass do it and you get in trouble, right? I don't teach my children that. Okay? So being a parent, if I was in the same situation and being old school, there's no way I could have set myself up and did it in front of no cameras, knowing my son was trying to steal in the first place. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. I would have cussed. Oh man, he would have got it. He would have got the business in. Like first of all, you're stealing. Then somebody recorded it. Now it's viral. All my friends see it. Co-workers see it. Your mom, I mean your daddy, his people, all your people see it. I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed. You embarrassed me. Now I look like I just raised you any kind of way. Like I don't sit up and try to talk to you, raise you, and make sure you know right from wrong. You know it's wrong to be. You knew that was wrong. You know what's wrong. Now I'm embarrassed. I got to go to work tomorrow, and it's hot news on Facebook and Instagram, and I got to go to work and stuff tomorrow, and look at folk and hope that nobody in the office seen my child acting a goddamn fool, trying to steal and then get body slammed. I That's the first thing on my mind, and because it was such a like uh I wouldn't, like I said, it was excessive, but it wasn't excessive. You dig what I'm saying? Like, he was wrong. That was like instant karma. He had no business, yes, but it was still instant. I mean, he was wrong. It wasn't like he was just standing there and they just randomly, because he was black, just body slammed him because they just thought, you know, like they out here killing because they thought somebody had a gun. That's excessive. So when we get to getting into this knick-knacking for every little, he obviously yelled at me. That was excessive. He didn't even, it was just a traffic ticket and he was yelling at me, and that's excessive. No, no. When we get to trying to make everything out to be excessive, when we know we're wrong in the first place, and it's like a small, it's excessive by definition, but it's not profoundly excessive, or people, loss of life, broken ribs, broken limbs, getting beat up, or what I'm saying. The little boy got body slammed. He was trying to steal. Okay, he was trying to steal some candy out of the vending machine, trying to go because all the other kids is going. He tried out there being a follower. Before she got her, I would, like I said, I would be embarrassed. And before she should have said her being a mother, like I said, I don't know what these millennials is doing. Like I said, they feel like, oh, they supposed to defend their child regardless if they wrong or not. And that's not what, I'm dated, honey. We don't do that. Some stuff, yeah. Okay, but I like, for example, if you go out here, you shoot somebody, what I'm saying, and something happened to you, I'm not finna, they rough you up or something, you done, shot somebody, or something like that. I'm not gonna sit up here and say excessive force. or you do something that's wrong. I'm not gonna defend you. I'm not. That's not me. That's not my generation. That's the new generation of millennials and the what's that Z or whatever. The 20s and 30s kids. That's them. They defend their child regardless of what they do. I'm not gonna sit up and defend my child. If you're a rapist, if you're suspected of raping somebody, molesting somebody, murdering somebody, no, no, you got to. I'm not. Oh well, no, that's excessive. And oh well, he didn't have to do that. Like if you get shot up leaving the bank from robbing the bank, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, that was excessive. Like I would. Don't get me wrong. It would. I would. It would be fucked up, and I would be mad. If it was a situation where my child go and rob a bank and then all of a sudden with a armed, what I'm saying, they come out and they shoot him, I would be pissed off. But at the end of the day, I said my child was in the fucking bank robbing the fucking bank at gunpoint. You dig what I'm saying? Like there are too many incidents out here where it was excessive. Philando Castile, excessive when they, no knock raids. The little baby that got his face blown off because of a flashbang grenade. The little girl that was sleeping in her bed that was 7 years old that they did a no knock on the wrong house. That's excessive. Yeah, now you're not following through with information that they're getting. Yes, there is excessive cases of like overreach and excessive, stalking, raping. I've seen that. I've seen leaked footage of officers raping inmates. Like I've seen it. Okay, that's in custody. A girl, well, young female that was in custody. Okay, knocked her out, slammed her on the thing, she got knocked out, and then as she was standing, sitting, laying there, lifeless, he raped her in the cell. And somebody, I think did that, leaked that on purpose because they knew they just couldn't come out with it, but they knew that shit was wrong because the police is a gang, like a mob, and it's a code of silence, just like the streets is a code of silence. But I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your child was up there stealing. I would be embarrassed. I wouldn't. So please, let's stop as a community. Just because every little incident that is accept technically yes is a little bit. Come on, now did you really have to do that? Like I've even had police like yell and cuss at me for no reason. Like, dude, chill. Like you're on like 10. Like I'm talking calmly and everything. Like why are you? I'm trying to explain to you what happened. Like between some that ain't had nothing to do with me. So at the first place, so I'm just like, dude, chill. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's excessive. But I'm like, oh my god. Some of this shit that's excessive don't warrant you going to lawyer up and go picket and boycott and stand on bridges and block traffic. Okay? Okay, little Tay Tay out here being a menace to society, and he he running from the police and da 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 da, and they shoot up the car. Yes, it was excessive, but we have to, you know, right is wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna get behind no shit where it's like, you know, unless it's like extremely excessive. I'm not, oh, well, you know, um, in this case, oh, he body slick. Even if it was like something like, a grown person, try to walk out of a store with, a Snicker or some meat or something, and they drop it, and then all of a sudden he gets body slammed. If it was just one, I mean, from what, if it was in the same way as what just happened, what I seen on this video, I wouldn't be sitting up there wanting to, oh my god, excessive force. No, no, because it just when we nitpick at everything, every little thing, it just takes away from the bigger issue, and it just makes it over time it gets saturated, and people won't. will stop taking it seriously, because you can't cry wolf all the time. You know the wolf be around. You just can't cry wolf all the time. We got to pull that card out strategically and carefully, because then it takes the life out of the whole movement of excessive force. And then, if we get to nitpicking at every little thing, 5 years from now, people will be like, okay, yeah, all right. Like it won't be taken seriously. How about you discipline your child and go sit down because he was wrong. That's what he should have did, was gone ahead. That's what should have happened is, like, it, because that was all that happened in that case. Now, if it, like I keep saying, if it was a little bit more, they did a little bit more, to him, broke his arm, or beat him up or something like that, kept slamming him. Like, it was another video where a student got just, for no reason at all, in the office. Well, the police officer just walked up to him. He wanted to call his grandma or something like that, and walk up to him and just body slammed him and just slamming him, and what I mean. And okay, that's excessive. That was uncalled for. But your son was trying to steal, got caught stealing, and got body slammed, and probably dropped it. And this is a guess, but I'm pretty sure he probably dropped it as dude was already in full lunge, finna lunge at him. So he's talking about the corner of his eye. He had no business. You, ma'am, ma'am, you wasting tax dollars. This just makes it look like we just trying to get little coins off of every little incident, and that's just, it devalues the whole movement, and it just makes the people who have sacrificed their jobs, their livelihood for marching, and they criminal history from getting arrested to be protesting these things, these real issues. It just takes, it's just a slap in the face, and it just takes away from all of what that hard work and the things that they have sacrificed and done for the movement to bring attention to racist ass cops, the mob, and the hidden agenda to, of the police state. Okay? So stop, ma'am. Discipline your child. Take all that shit away. Them Xboxes, them Jordans, them uh what they call them, the Beats or whatever they wearing now for headphones, all that stuff, the iPhones and all that. Take all that shit out of his fucking room. Take them goddamn shoes out of his fucking room, since he don't appreciate the shit that you give him, you know, and don't understand that he is public enemy number one. And that's another issue with the whole thing too. I just think that I don't think a lot. I think a lot of us, especially my age, and then we begin to have children, and those children have had, like, we tend to be delusional with how we teach our children. We're in a state of war, really. I mean, meaning that we are public enemy number one. I tell my son, you're black and you're a black man. You have two strikes against you. You are a thief, a thug, a liar, and a threat before you even open your mouth. And it is wrong, but unfortunately, that is how it is. Therefore, you have to be careful of who you hang around and what you do. Don't give nobody no reason to say or do anything to you. That include run your ass to a damn vending machine that's open because they're trying to put more candy and shit in there for y'all to buy, knowing damn well you didn't pay for that shit.